So Never Let Go is the new survival horror film starring Halle Berry, where she plays a mom and lives in a cabin with her two kids, and they basically live in the middle of nowhere. Yeah, that sets off like the vibe that, something bad is going to happen, of course. But in all honesty here, the movie is about this family that lives in this cabin. And the reason why they live in this cabin is because it is their safe zone, because according to the mother, there is evil out there in the world. And they have to stay there so that the evil can't get them. So they basically, survive by going out into the woods, of course, because, they have to live still. They can't just live off the cabin without food. And the way they do it is that they tie themselves to this rope that is connected to the cabin so that they can venture out. And as long as they're connected to the cabin in like some way, as long as they're hooked to the safe zone, touching it in some way, then the evil cannot get them. So, never let go of the rope. Hence its name, Never Let Go. The movie is not really a survival horror film. No, don't get me wrong. These people do have to survive in the woods. So, it does fit the survival criteria. But as for the horror criteria, no. Because this movie is not a scary movie. Even though there is a jump scare in the beginning of the film. And I feel like it was a jump scare that didn't need to be there. I feel like the director just put it there to be an ass. But, I swear, at the showtime I went to see this movie, there was someone in the audience. When that jump scare happened, they screamed their head off. It got me too, which is actually kind of odd because jump scares usually don't get me because I can see them coming. But I wasn't prepared for that one, so when it did happen, all I could think of was like, you asshole. This movie really falls in the vibe, I would say, of a psychological thriller, and here's why. Because Halle Berry, she was good in this film. I believe she was a solid character. But with the character that she plays, she says that an apocalyptic event happened, and now that's why they live in this cabin together, and she basically explains to her kids that they must never let go of the rope because that is their lifeline, and that the evil will get them if they are not holding on to the rope. And that's so she says. And it's interesting because at first, it's like she is the only one who can see the evil. The kids can't see it because we see it from both her eyes and the kids' eyes. And with everything that happens, it just makes you start asking questions. Is there really evil out there in these woods? Or is she just crazy? Though I will say, when we were seeing the movie through the kids' eyes, it was a lot more interesting than seeing it through Halle Berry's eyes because we know what she sees. But it made me start wondering, do the kids, will the kids ever start seeing it? And of course, we have one kid who does everything that she says, but we have one kid start questioning everything, saying, oh, there is no evil out there. There's nothing going on. Nothing's wrong. We can leave. So, it just makes you keep pondering things and also envision what they are going through because they have to stay here and they live with her and there's basically no escape because she's not going to let them leave, and if they do leave, they're afraid that she could kill them because the evil will get inside them. So it just makes you ponder all that about what's really happening here. What are the kids going to do? Or, what will she do to them if they possibly get, infected with the evil? I will say this, the movie is creepy because there are a lot of creepy scenes in this movie, but it's also a slow burn, and so the pacing is very slow, and also feel like it's a little too long. The movie is an hour and 40 minutes, maybe an hour and 45 minutes, but I think it would have just been fine at the hour and a half mark, just that simple 90-minute psychological thriller. But of course, they just had to tack on 15 extra minutes. Maybe they had a little left over in the budget to do. But with the way it was done, the payout just wasn't all that great. The final act really was a letdown, to the point where it was actually confusing. And that was kind of a shock because this movie was really solid to the very end, and then that's when the confusing part happened. Now, like I said, this movie relies heavily on questions. Having the audience ask questions about what is really going on in their world. And it probably would have been better if it ended like that, but still giving us a completed story. It gave us a completed story, and believe me, you're asking what happened, but like not in a good way. I'm just saying, with the solid story it had going for it, that ending was just really kind of unfulfilling. Ending aside though, I did enjoy this film to an extent. That's why I'm going to give Never Let Go a C+. Solid psychological thriller. Could have done better with the ending though. Alright, well that just about wraps up this review. If you guys have seen Never Let Go, please comment here down below what your thoughts were on it. Also, if you like my other videos, you can check out here more on my channel. And always remember to stay epic!